Everything you think you know about success is wrong. Most people wait, hesitate, and settle for mediocrity while opportunities slip by. High achievers don't think like that. They act decisively, see what others miss, and build unstoppable momentum every single day. In the next hour, I'm going to rewire your mind, break the habits that hold you back, and teach you exactly how to think like a high achiever. Pay attention, because this isn't theory, it's a blueprint, and it will change how you act, how you decide, and how fast you rise. Chapter 1. Waiting is a weak strategy. Stop waiting. Stop hoping for the perfect conditions. Stop convincing yourself that someday, somehow, the right moment will arrive. Because here's the truth. The right moment doesn't exist. It never will. High achievers know this. They don't wait. They think. They act. And they adjust along the way. That's the key. You have a choice. You can sit there, frozen by indecision, scrolling through excuses and distractions. Or you can step forward. You can decide. You can start thinking. You can start acting. Stop waiting. Start thinking. Start acting. Say it out loud. Repeat it until it burns into your mind. Because repetition is how the mind learns. Let's break this down. Most people wait for signals. Perfect timing, perfect knowledge, perfect confidence. They wait for clarity, for alignment, for someone to give them permission. They wait for certainty. And while they wait, the world moves without them. Opportunities pass. Doors close. Dreams fade. Waiting is the enemy of achievement. Waiting is comfort disguised as wisdom. You don't need their permission. You don't need the green light. You only need your own decision. Think about Jeff Bezos. He didn't wait for the perfect moment to launch Amazon. He didn't wait for a flawless business plan. He started in a garage. He started with limited resources. He started while the world was skeptical. He started when he had far more questions than answers. And that's exactly the point. High achievers start. They adjust. They improve along the way. Waiting would have cost Bezos everything. Acting cost him risk, but created results. Here's the lesson. Waiting is a trap. Thinking is power. Acting is the engine. You can't have the engine running if you never flip the switch. Stop waiting. Start thinking. Start acting. Every time you hesitate, imagine that garage door closing. Every time you pause, remind yourself that indecision is the silent killer of success. Now, thinking doesn't mean overthinking. High achievers don't get lost in endless analysis. They think with purpose. They identify the opportunity, weigh the basic facts, and make a decision. Then they act. Then they refine. That's how the world's most successful people operate. They don't wait for perfect clarity. They don't wait for guarantees. They act with imperfect knowledge and then course correct along the way. That's the skill you need. That's the discipline you must cultivate. Let's practice it. Right now, pause. Ask yourself, what am I waiting for? What is holding me back? Be honest. Write it down. Name it. Fear, lack of confidence, fear of rejection, fear of failing. That's normal. Everyone has it. Everyone feels it. But here's the difference. High achievers acknowledge the fear and move anyway. They don't let fear dictate their timeline. They don't let fear control their actions. They act in spite of it. You have a choice. You can wait or you can act. That's the key. Now, I want you to understand something crucial. Action creates clarity. Thinking alone never produces results. Waiting never produces growth. Only action produces clarity. Only action teaches you what works and what doesn't. Only action allows you to refine your plan in real time. Stop waiting. Start thinking. Start acting. Say it again, out loud. Stop waiting. Start thinking. Start acting. This isn't just a phrase. It's a command. It's a mindset. It's a habit. Consider another example. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. She didn't wait for investors, mentors, or a perfect product design. She acted. She tested. She iterated. She failed, and she learned. She acted again. Every step was imperfect, but she started. She learned through doing. She grew through action. Waiting would have kept her in her day job forever. Thinking is necessary. Action is essential. Waiting is optional. High achievers also understand the power of momentum. Once you act, it becomes easier to act again. Motion creates motion. Hesitation creates inertia. Stop waiting. Start thinking. Start acting. Build momentum in small, consistent steps. Every decision you make, every step you take, compounds over time. High achievers know this. That's why they start today, even when today feels inconvenient. That's why they start now, not later. That's why they don't ask for permission. That's why they never wait. You have a choice. Every day, every hour, every minute. Here's a simple framework to help you implement this principle right now. Identify one action you've been waiting on. Something small, something manageable, something that will move the needle even slightly. Take imperfect action immediately. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for confidence. Act. Adjust as needed. Reflect and iterate. Learn from the results, improve, and take the next step. Do this consistently. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that you start. Momentum will build. Confidence will grow. Skills will sharpen. Opportunities will multiply. And most importantly, you will stop being a spectator in your own life. You have a choice. Stop waiting. Start thinking. Start acting. That's the key. Let's reinforce this one more time. High achievers do not wait. They do not hesitate. They do not allow fear, uncertainty, or discomfort to freeze them in place. They act. They adjust. They persist. Waiting is easy. Thinking is powerful. Action is unstoppable. You have a choice. Choose action. Choose thinking. Choose results. Stop waiting. Start thinking. Start acting. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. In summary, here's what you need to take away from this chapter. Waiting kills opportunity. Start before you feel ready. Start before you feel confident. Start before you feel perfect. Thinking with purpose guides action. Identify the opportunity, assess the essentials, make a decision, and move. Action creates clarity. Motion produces momentum. Step forward, adjust, and refine. High achievers operate this way every single day. You've learned to stop waiting. You've learned to think with purpose. You've learned to act decisively. You've taken the first step toward rewiring your mind. Momentum is now in your control. You mastered hesitation. Now, let's talk about the true currency of your life. Chapter 2. See what others ignore. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. These are not just words. They're the mindset of high achievers. While most people drift through life, reacting to the obvious, ignoring the subtle, high achievers scan the environment with purpose. They notice patterns. They spot opportunities where others see noise. They see gold where others see dirt. And that is the difference between mediocrity and extraordinary success. You have a choice. You can walk through life passively, seeing only what is right in front of you, or you can train your attention, sharpen your perception, and notice what others ignore. That's the key. Attention is your superpower. Most people waste it on distractions, gossip, and shallow judgments. High achievers protect it. They focus it. They channel it. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. Let's break this down. Seeing what others ignore requires discipline. It requires slowing down your mind in a world that is moving fast. Most people are distracted by the obvious, the headlines, the loud opinions, the things everyone else is talking about. High achievers look past that noise. They train themselves to notice subtle gaps, small inefficiencies, overlooked needs. That's where opportunity lives. That's where innovation begins. You don't need the crowd to notice it. You don't need validation. You just need your own focus. Consider Steve Jobs. In the late 1970s, personal computing was dismissed as a niche hobby irrelevant to the mainstream. Most companies saw no potential. Most people ignored the signs of change. Jobs saw what others didn't. He noticed the gap, the opportunity to create an intuitive, user-friendly personal computer that could change lives. He acted on it. He refused to follow the herd. That's how Apple was born. That's how a company changed the world. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. That's the blueprint. This isn't limited to tech giants. It applies to your life, your career, your business, your growth. High achievers notice the small details, an unmet need in the market, a behavior no one else is correcting, a conversation others dismiss as trivial. These overlooked opportunities compound over time. They turn into massive advantages. The world rewards attention, persistence, and action. If you want results, you must train yourself to see what others ignore. So how do you do it? First, you slow down. Stop rushing. Stop skimming through life. Observe. Listen. Reflect. Look closer. Second, you question assumptions. Don't accept the surface-level truth. Ask what is missing here. What are others overlooking? What problem exists that nobody is solving? High achievers live in the questions. That's how they uncover opportunity where others see nothing. Third, you act on what you notice. Observation alone is useless. Action turns insight into results. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. Repeat. Here's a practical example. Imagine you work in a company where processes are slow and inefficient. Everyone complains. Everyone accepts it as normal. High achievers notice the inefficiency, no matter how small. They figure out a better way. They implement a solution. They gain an advantage. They get noticed. They move ahead. You see, the world rewards the person who notices and acts, not the person who waits and complains. Repetition is key. You have to embed this mindset until it becomes automatic. Every time you observe something, ask, am I seeing what others are ignoring? Is there a hidden opportunity here? Can I act on it? Over time, your mind will start scanning automatically. You will start noticing patterns, gaps, and possibilities that others miss. And this becomes your edge, your secret weapon, your competitive advantage. Let's reinforce one more time. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. High achievers don't chase the obvious. They exploit the unnoticed. They leverage the ignored. They create value where everyone else sees nothing. You have a choice. Follow the crowd, or train yourself to see what the crowd cannot. That's the key. Now, attention alone is not enough. You must combine it with courage. Noticing opportunities is useless if fear keeps you from acting. You must act decisively on what you see. You must take imperfect steps. You must test, learn, and adjust. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. Courage amplifies observation. Action transforms insight into results. Fear keeps you blind. Discipline keeps you sharp. You have a choice. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. Remember, this skill compounds over time. The more you train your mind to notice what others ignore, the more you will find doors opening that others don't even see. The opportunities you discover today will multiply tomorrow. Every subtle insight, every small overlooked detail, every ignored signal, these are the building blocks of massive success. High achievers understand this. That's why they're always learning, always observing, always experimenting. That's why they never settle for the obvious. That's why they act on what others dismiss. You have to internalize this principle. Make it a habit. Every day ask, what am I missing? What can I see that others cannot? Where is the opportunity hiding? Train your mind like a muscle. Focus your attention like a laser. Protect it from distractions. Embed it in every decision, every action you take, every problem you solve. Look closer. See deeper. Act smarter. Repeat. 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 In summary, here's what you must take away from this chapter. High achievers see what others ignore. They notice subtle patterns, gaps, and overlooked opportunities. Observation without action is worthless. Action on what you notice is what creates results. Train your attention, question assumptions, and act decisively. Build the habit until it becomes instinct. You've learned how to look closer, see deeper, and act smarter. You've begun sharpening the lens through which you view the world. You've taken the first step towards seeing opportunities where others see nothing. You've created the foundation for a mind that notices, decides, and acts with precision. You mastered attention. Now, let's talk about controlling the voice that could destroy your momentum. Chapter 3. Silence the inner critic. Doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. Say it out loud. Repeat it. Embed it into your mind. Self-doubt is the silent killer of momentum. It sits in the corner, quiet at first, and then it grows, consuming your confidence, freezing your decisions, and killing your potential. High achievers don't ignore it. They recognize it, confront it, and replace it with disciplined action. That's the key. You have a choice. You can listen to the inner critic, letting it paralyze you, or you can acknowledge it and act anyway. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. The inner critic will always be there. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. It never disappears. But you can control your response. Doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. That's how momentum is built. That's how mastery is achieved. Let's break this down. Most people think confidence is the absence of doubt. It's not. Confidence is the ability to act despite doubt. Confidence is showing up even when you feel unready. Confidence is taking one imperfect step forward, learning from it, and taking the next. That's the principle behind every high achiever success. Waiting for certainty guarantees failure. Acting in spite of doubt guarantees growth. That's the mindset you need. Consider Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, cut from his high school basketball team, criticized relentlessly, told he wasn't good enough, yet he didn't let doubt paralyze him. He practiced relentlessly. Every day, every hour, every shot, every drill. Doubt whispered. Action screamed. He followed action, and eventually, he became the greatest of all time. Not because doubt disappeared, but because he refused to stop moving. That's the lesson. Self-doubt manifests in many forms. It whispers, "You're not ready. You're not good enough. Wait for later. Someone else knows better." These are lies. High achievers know these lies. They know that doubt is a signal, not a stop sign. It's a signal that growth is near. It's a signal that action is required. Doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. You have a choice. Listen to doubt or listen to action. That's the key. Here's how you silence the inner critic. Step 1. Recognize it. Awareness is power. The next time doubt creeps in, name it. Say, "This is my inner critic. This is fear speaking." Step 2. Question it. Ask yourself, is this true? Or is this fear trying to control me? Step 3. Act. Take the smallest possible step forward, even if it's imperfect. Action is the antidote to doubt. Action builds clarity. Action builds momentum. Doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. Repeat it. Live it. High achievers also understand the power of preparation. Doubt loses its grip when you prepare relentlessly. Michael Jordan didn't just practice when he felt motivated. He practiced every single day, tirelessly, obsessively. Preparation builds competence. Competence builds confidence. Confidence reduces doubt. But even when doubt exists, action still rules. That's the secret. You don't need motivation. You don't need permission. You need action. And action silences the critic. Let's reinforce this principle. Every time doubt arises, respond with movement. Small steps count. Imperfect steps count. Any step forward counts. Momentum is your weapon. Hesitation is your enemy. Doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. Say it. Repeat it. Burn it into your subconscious. Because the inner critic is relentless. The high achiever is relentless. Who wins? You decide. Here's a real-world example beyond sports. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. Countless people doubted her. Investors laughed. Friends questioned her ideas. She could have listened. She could have quit. She could have delayed. But she acted. She tested. She iterated. Every small action pushed doubt aside. Every decision to move forward silenced the inner critic. That's how high achievers operate. They respect doubt, but they never obey it. You have a choice. Obey doubt or obey action. That's the key. Repetition is critical. You must embed this into your daily routine. Every morning, say, doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. Every time hesitation appears, repeat it mentally. Every time fear shows its face, repeat it aloud. Train your mind to respond automatically with action, not hesitation. Doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. This is your mantra. This is your discipline. This is your edge. Now, let's talk about the consequences of ignoring this. People who listen to doubt live small. They wait. They delay. They procrastinate. They never test themselves. They stay average, frustrated, and unfulfilled. Don't be that person. You have a choice. You have the power to act. You have the power to move forward. You have the power to silence the critic with your own two hands. Every action, no matter how small, chips away at the voice that tells you to stay stuck. Doubt whispers. Action screams. Follow action. That's the key. Let's give you a practical framework. Recognize the voice of doubt. Name it. Identify it. Don't pretend it isn't there. Question the voice. Ask if it's telling truth or fear. Separate reality from fiction. Take one small, decisive action, then another, then another. Build momentum. Build clarity. Build confidence. Doubt shrinks in the presence of motion. Action dominates. Action empowers. Action silences the critic. In summary, here's what you must remember from this chapter. Doubt is natural. Fear is inevitable. But neither should control your actions. Action is the antidote to doubt. Movement creates clarity, momentum, and confidence. High achievers act relentlessly despite uncertainty, fear, and criticism. They respect doubt, but they never obey it. You've learned to recognize your inner critic. You've learned to confront it with disciplined action. You've learned that momentum is built one step at a time, in spite of fear. You've begun the process of rewiring your mind to act decisively, even when the voice inside says stop. You master doubt. Now, let's talk about the structures that create unstoppable progress. Chapter 4. Build systems, not goals. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Say it. Repeat it. Embed it. High achievers understand this truth better than anyone. Goals are fragile, fleeting, and often unattainable if treated as the centerpiece of your strategy. Systems, on the other hand, are unstoppable. They create momentum. They produce consistent results. They turn action into habit and habit into success. That's the key. You have a choice. You can chase goals and risk frustration, disappointment, and inconsistency. Or you can build systems, repeatable frameworks that guarantee progress day in and day out. That's the difference between ordinary effort and extraordinary achievement. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Say it again. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Embedded into your mind. Let's break this down. Goals are like finish lines. They're useful as targets, but if you rely on them alone, they fail you. Why? Because they are dependent on external circumstances, motivation, and timing. Motivation is unreliable. Circumstances are unpredictable. Systems, on the other hand, don't rely on luck, inspiration, or perfect conditions. Systems rely on discipline, structure, and repetition. That's why they win every time. Consider James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. His principle is simple. Focus on the system, not the outcome. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers around the world follow this advice. They don't obsess over hitting a goal once. They obsess over building the daily routines, behaviors, and habits that ensure they hit goals repeatedly. Want to lose weight? Build the system. Eat consistently, train daily, track progress. Don't obsess over the number on the scale. Want to write a book? Build the system. Write every morning, revise consistently, schedule deadlines. The outcome will follow. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Here's the truth. Relying solely on goals creates spikes of effort followed by crashes. You hit a goal and celebrate. But what then? You plateau. You stagnate. You wait for the next motivation surge. That's not how high achievers operate. High achievers build systems. They create processes that repeat, improve, and compound over time. Systems produce results automatically because they remove reliance on willpower alone. That's the key. You have a choice. Goals or systems. Systems win. Let's make this practical. Start by identifying the behaviors that actually create the results you want. Don't focus on the outcome. Focus on the action that produces the outcome. Want to get fit? The behavior. Consistent exercise, proper nutrition, tracking progress. Want to increase revenue? The behavior. Daily prospecting, improving client communication, following up consistently. Systems focus on behaviors. Goals focus on results. The difference is everything. Now, repetition is crucial here. Systems are built by doing consistently. Repeat the behavior daily. Adjust it weekly. Improve it monthly. That's how high achievers turn small actions into massive results. Systems compound. Goals expire. Remember, systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Say out loud. Embed it in your mind. Let it guide your actions. Consider athletes. Professional runners don't focus on finishing a single race. They focus on training consistently, building endurance, refining form. The race result is the natural outcome of the system. Entrepreneurs don't obsess over hitting a revenue target. They obsess over building daily routines, prospecting, marketing, customer service, product improvement. The results multiply. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Here's a framework to start building systems today. Identify the desired outcome you want, but don't obsess over it. Break it down into repeatable, daily behaviors that directly produce that outcome. Focus on executing those behaviors consistently, adjusting as needed. Systems are the engine. Goals are the destination. The engine matters more than the destination. High achievers also understand the psychological power of systems. When you focus on systems, you remove decision fatigue. You remove constant weighing of should I. The system decides for you. It creates automatic momentum. You don't rely on motivation or energy spikes. You rely on structure. Systems enforce action. Goals hope for action. That's the difference. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Let's reinforce this one more time. Systems produce consistency. Goals are fleeting. Systems build habits. Goals fade when motivation fades. Systems compound. Goals spike. Systems sustain. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. You have to internalize this principle until it becomes automatic. Every day, ask, what system can I build today that will guarantee tomorrow's progress? Think about your health, your career, your finances, your relationships. Build systems that produce results every day, every week, every month. Don't chase the scoreboard. Chase the process. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. Here's the consequence of ignoring this principle. Chasing goals without systems leads to frustration, burnout, and inconsistency. You push hard, you hit the goal, and then you crash. You stagnate. You feel unfulfilled. High achievers avoid this trap. They remove dependency on results. They focus on the engine. They focus on daily action. They focus on building momentum that never stops. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. That's the key. Remember, small, consistent actions create compounding results. Systems focus on these actions. High achievers know this. They don't wait for motivation. They don't chase fleeting goals. They build systems that produce results repeatedly, reliably, and predictably. That's why they succeed. That's why you can succeed too. You have a choice. Focus on the result and risk disappointment, or focus on the system and guarantee progress. Systems win. Goals are temporary. Systems win every time. In summary, here's what you must take away from this chapter. Goals are fragile. Systems are unstoppable. Build repeatable processes, not just targets. Focus on behaviors that create the outcome, not the outcome itself. Systems compound. Goals expire. Embed systems in your daily life. Discipline beats motivation. Consistency beats ambition. Systems win every time. You've learned why systems matter more than goals. You've learned how to design repeatable behaviors that drive results automatically. You've begun the process of creating unstoppable momentum. You've taken a step toward thinking like a high achiever, where action and structure outweigh fleeting desires. You mastered the system. Now, let's talk about the power of incremental progress that compounds over time. Chapter 5. Embrace the power of small wins. Small wins today. Big results tomorrow. Repeat. Say out loud. Embed it into your mind. High achievers don't wait for breakthroughs. They don't wait for perfect opportunities. They leverage small, consistent progress. Every day, every step, every decision. That's the secret that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. That's the key. You have a choice. You can wait for luck, inspiration, or a sudden life-changing moment. Or you can start today. Start small. Start deliberate. Start consistent. High achievers understand that small wins accumulate over time. They compound. They grow. They multiply. Small wins today. Big results tomorrow. Repeat. Say it again. Repeat it. Internalize it. Let's break this down. Most people look for instant gratification. They chase massive breakthroughs. They hope for overnight success. That's not how achievement works. Progress compounds like interest in a bank account. Every small step, every tiny improvement adds up. High achievers know this. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, leveraged compound learning. He didn't make one big bet and hope it worked. He invested consistently, studied relentlessly, and made small, deliberate decisions over decades. That's how wealth grows. That's how mastery grows. Small wins today. Big results tomorrow. Repeat. You don't need a huge leap to make progress. You need tiny, deliberate actions done consistently. Want it fit? Focus on one workout, one meal, one decision at a time. Want to grow your business? Make one connection, send one proposal, improve one process every day. Momentum builds in small increments. That's the secret. High achievers know consistency trumps intensity. Small wins today, big results tomorrow. Repeat. Here's the truth. Small wins create psychological momentum. Every time you achieve something, even minor, it reinforces your confidence, your discipline, and your identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who gets things done. That's the difference between a dreamer and a doer. High achievers act, refine, and repeat. They know that each small win is a building block for massive success. Let's make this practical. Start by identifying one area in your life where you want progress. Break it down into tiny, actionable steps. Take one small step today. Celebrate it. Take another tomorrow. Track your progress. Repeat consistently. Small wins build habits. Habits build momentum. Momentum produces results. Small wins today. Big results tomorrow. Repeat. This is your framework for consistent achievement. Consider another example. James Clear's Atomic Habits. He emphasizes the power of compounding small actions. A 1% improvement every day leads to massive gains over time. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers leverage this principle daily. They don't wait for perfect circumstances. They act in the small, consistent ways that compound into extraordinary outcomes. That's how high achievers operate. Small wins today, big results tomorrow. Repeat. Here's something crucial. Consistency beats motivation. Motivation is temporary. Inspiration fades. Discipline lasts. Small wins rely on discipline, not bursts of energy or mood swings. You must commit to daily progress, no matter how minor it seems. That's how high achievers maintain momentum. Small wins today, big results tomorrow. Repeat. Say it. Repeat it. Live it. You might think small steps won't make a difference. That's a lie your mind tells you to protect comfort. High achievers know the power of accumulation. Every small action stacks. Every tiny decision adds up. Every repeated behavior compounds. Over weeks, months, and years, these small wins create unstoppable momentum. That's the hidden advantage most people ignore. That's your edge. Small wins today, big results tomorrow. Repeat. Let's reinforce this principle further. You have a choice. You can chase big, flashy results and risk burnout, frustration, and inconsistency. Or you can focus on small, deliberate actions that compound into extraordinary outcomes. The high achiever chooses the latter. They focus on progress, not perfection. They focus on repetition, not instant gratification. They focus on small wins. Small wins today, big results tomorrow. Repeat. That's the key. Here's a practical framework to implement this today. Identify one area for improvement. Keep it simple and specific. Break it down into micro actions that can be done today. Focus on execution, not perfection. Track progress daily. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small. Repeat consistently. Build momentum. Compound results. Small wins today. Big results tomorrow. Repeat. High achievers also understand patience. They know compounding works, but it takes time. You must trust the process. You must resist the urge to quit or look for instant gratification. Every small action is an investment in your future self. Every small win builds your skill, your confidence, and your trajectory. Small wins today, big results tomorrow. Repeat. Embed it. Live it. Let's summarize the lessons from this chapter. Small wins create momentum. Big results are the accumulation of consistent effort over time. Consistency beats intensity. Daily, deliberate actions compound into extraordinary outcomes. Patience, repetition, and discipline are essential. Trust the process. Focus on small wins. Small wins today. Big results tomorrow. Repeat. You've learned to leverage the power of small wins. You've learned how consistent, incremental progress compounds into massive results. You've begun to adopt the mindset of high achievers who act daily, consistently, and deliberately. You've learned that you don't need a massive breakthrough to make progress. You just need consistent small steps in the right direction. You mastered incremental progress. Now, let's talk about how to transform every obstacle into fuel for your next move. Chapter 6. Turn obstacles into fuel. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time, say out loud. Repeat it. Embed it. High achievers don't see obstacles as roadblocks. They see them as signals. Signals that growth is near. Signals that opportunity is hidden in plain sight. Signals that the next level is waiting for those who are willing to fight. That's the key. You have a choice. You can let obstacles stop you, frustrate you, or scare you into inaction. Or you can let them fuel you, teach you, and push you to levels others never reach. That's the difference between average and extraordinary. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time, repeat it, live it, believe it. Let's break this down. Most people see obstacles as negative. They see failure, setbacks, and criticism as reasons to quit. High achievers see something else entirely. They see information. They see feedback. They see an invitation to improve. Elon Musk, for example, faced near-constant production crises at Tesla. Every setback, every delay, every technical problem could have been an excuse to give up. Most people would have quit. Musk didn't. He turned those obstacles into breakthroughs. That's how innovation happens. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time, obstacles are unavoidable. You will face them in your career, your business, your personal life. The question is, how will you respond? Will you shrink? Will you complain? Will you wait for the obstacle to disappear? Or will you see it for what it really is, a signal to push harder, a chance to learn, a test of your resilience? That's what high achievers do. They rise. They adapt. They overcome. Every time, obstacles rise. You rise higher. Repeat it. Burn it into your mind. Here's the truth. Obstacles are fuel. They are raw material for your growth. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without difficulty, there is no resilience. Without setbacks, there is no learning. High achievers understand that every problem carries hidden opportunity. They don't ignore obstacles. They dissect them. They analyze them. They extract lessons. Then they act. That's how you turn adversity into advantage. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time. Let's make this practical. When you face an obstacle, pause and ask yourself, what is this obstacle really telling me? What can I learn from it? How can I turn this challenge into leverage? Answer these questions and then act decisively. Momentum is key. Action converts obstacles into fuel. Hesitation converts them into barriers. High achievers act, even when the situation is messy, unpredictable, and uncomfortable. That's how they turn setbacks into breakthroughs. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time, repeat, repeat, repeat. Consider another example. J.K. Rowling, rejected by dozens of publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. Each rejection was an obstacle. Each no could have ended her pursuit. Most would have quit. She didn't. She used rejection as fuel to refine her writing, improve her pitch, and persevere until she achieved one of the greatest successes in literary history. That's the mindset you must adopt. Obstacles are signals. Obstacles are opportunities. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time. Now let's talk about mindset. The way you perceive obstacles determines the way you respond. Victims see obstacles as punishment. Winners see them as guidance. Winners know that obstacles are testing their commitment, their resilience, and their determination. Winners know that the universe will challenge them, but every challenge is a chance to grow. You have a choice. You can see obstacles as dead ends, or you can see them as fuel. That's the key. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time. Here's a framework to implement this today. Identify the obstacle clearly. Name it. Don't ignore it. Don't sugarcoat it. Analyze it for lessons. What is this challenge teaching you? What skill, habit, or insight is hidden here? Take decisive action to leverage it. Transform it into progress, momentum, and advantage. High achievers follow this pattern over and over. Elon Musk didn't just solve one Tesla problem and stop. He faced multiple production failures, financial crises, and technical challenges. Every one became fuel for the next breakthrough. That's the level of persistence required. That's the level of thinking you must adopt. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time, repeat it until it becomes instinct. Repetition is key. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to reinforce this principle. Every setback is a chance to prove your resilience. Every difficulty is a chance to grow stronger, smarter, and faster. Train your mind to respond automatically. Obstacles appear. You rise higher. Every time. No hesitation. No excuses. Pure action. That's how high achievers think. That's how high achievers act. That's how high achievers win. Let's summarize the lessons from this chapter. Obstacles are not roadblocks. They're signals for opportunity and growth. Response matters more than circumstance. Momentum turns obstacles into fuel. High achievers act decisively, adapt continuously, and leverage adversity to rise higher. Obstacles rise. You rise higher. Every time. You've learned to see obstacles as fuel, not barriers. You've learned to extract lessons from setbacks. You've learned to act decisively, even in the face of difficulty. You've begun the process of turning every challenge into an opportunity for growth. You mastered adversity. Now, let's talk about the power of focusing on solutions instead of problems. Chapter 7. Focus on solutions, not problems. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. Say it out loud. Repeat it. Embed it. High achievers don't waste energy complaining. They don't dwell on what went wrong. They don't blame others, circumstances, or luck. They analyze, adapt, and act immediately. That's the key. That's how momentum is created. That's how results are achieved. You have a choice. You can sit and lament the problem. You can point fingers. You can wait for someone else to fix it. Or you can take control. You can focus on what can be done. You can find the solution. You can act now. That's what separates winners from the rest. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. Repeat it. Internalize it. Live it. Let's break this down. Most people react emotionally to problems. They complain. They justify. They procrastinate. High achievers respond differently. They assess. They prioritize. They identify the critical actions that will resolve the issue. Complaining produces nothing. Action produces results. Analysis without action produces nothing. Action without focus produces nothing. Focused action is unstoppable. That's the principle you must adopt. Consider Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Group. Time and again, unexpected business crises hit him. Flights delayed, ships in trouble, markets crashing. Most people would panic. Most people would look for someone to blame. Branson didn't. He focused on solutions. He mobilized teams. He made decisions quickly. He adapted to changing circumstances. Problems didn't stop him. Solutions propelled him forward. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. That's the mindset of high achievers. Here's the truth. Problems are inevitable. Life, work, and business are full of them. Every obstacle, setback, and challenge is an opportunity to demonstrate your capacity to act. The question isn't whether problems will appear. The question is, how will you respond? High achievers respond with speed, clarity, and focus. They turn problems into progress. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. Now, let's make this practical. When faced with a problem, follow this simple framework. Identify the problem clearly. Don't exaggerate. Don't minimize. Understand exactly what you're dealing with. Generate solutions quickly. Brainstorm options, even imperfect ones. Focus on what works now, not later. Act immediately. Implement the solution. Test it. Adjust as needed. Momentum is created through action, not debate. High achievers apply this framework relentlessly. They understand that speed multiplies success. A delayed solution often compounds the problem. Immediate action creates control, clarity, and advantage. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. Say it again. Repeat it. Embed it. Consider your own life. Every time you complain, hesitate, or blame someone else, you give away your power. High achievers never give it away. They seize it. They act. They turn what others see as a crisis into a catalyst for progress. Every problem is an opportunity. Every challenge is a chance to improve. Every obstacle is a signal to act decisively. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. Here's a practical example beyond business. Imagine a team project at work derailed by a miscommunication. Most people would argue over who's at fault. High achievers step in. They clarify responsibilities, fix the gaps, and get the project moving again. They focus on what can be done, not who caused the issue. This approach produces results. Complaining produces nothing. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. Repetition is key. High achievers embed this mindset until it becomes automatic. Every time a problem arises, the reaction is the same. Identify, solve, act. Momentum is preserved. Energy is directed toward outcomes, not distractions. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. Repeat it. Repeat it. Repeat it. Now let's talk about mindset. The faster you shift from problem-focused thinking to solution-focused thinking, the more control you have. High achievers operate with urgency. They understand that speed and focus create advantage. Delay allows confusion and frustration to take over. Acting decisively ensures progress, learning, and results. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. In summary, here's what you must take away from this chapter. Problems are inevitable, but dwelling on them is optional. High achievers act. Focus on identifying the solution, not the blame. Analysis and action must work together. Speed matters. Immediate, decisive action multiplies impact. Stop seeing problems. Start finding solutions. Move fast. You've learned to shift your mindset from complaining to problem solving. You've learned to act decisively in the face of unexpected challenges. You've begun training your mind to see problems as opportunities for action, not reasons to stop. You mastered problem-focused thinking. Now, let's talk about the discipline that turns consistent effort into unstoppable progress. Chapter 8. Commit to radical consistency. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats excuses. Consistency wins. Say out loud. Repeat it. Embed it. Talent fades. Motivation fluctuates. Inspiration is temporary. Only consistency produces lasting results. High achievers understand this truth better than anyone. They don't rely on bursts of brilliance. They rely on showing up every day in small but meaningful ways. That's the key. You have a choice. You can rely on talent, hope, or luck. Or you can commit to disciplined action every single day. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need to have perfect circumstances. You need consistency. Consistent effort compounds into unstoppable progress. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats excuses. Consistency wins. Repeat it. Live it. Let's break this down. Most people start with intensity and enthusiasm. They sprint. They burn out. They quit. High achievers operate differently. They embrace slow, steady, relentless action. They understand that small, repeated actions, taken consistently over time, create mastery. Serena Williams didn't become one of the greatest athletes of all time by sporadic effort. She trained daily, for decades, honing her craft. Talent alone wouldn't have been enough. Consistency created her dominance. That's the lesson. Consistency compounds. Each action builds on the last. Each habit reinforces the next. Momentum grows. Skill increases. Confidence strengthens. High achievers leverage this principle in every area of life: career, health, business, and relationships. Showing up consistently is more powerful than occasional brilliance. Consistency wins. Talent fades. Motivation fluctuates. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. Here's the truth. Consistency also builds trust. People notice reliability. Teams, clients, and collaborators respect and depend on those who show up. High achievers understand this. They don't miss deadlines. They don't fail to follow through. They act consistently, day after day. Your word, your effort, your presence becomes your reputation. That's the power of consistency. Now, let's make this practical. Start by identifying the small actions that matter most to your growth. Daily practice, incremental learning, healthy habits. Then commit to doing them every single day without exception. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Commit to the process. Small, consistent actions create massive results over time. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats excuses. Consistency wins. Repeat it. Repeat it. Repeat it. Consider another example: Warren Buffett's investing strategy. He didn't make one big bet and hope for success. He studied, observed, and acted consistently over decades. Small, deliberate decisions compounded into immense wealth. Talent mattered, yes, but consistency created results that talent alone never could. That's the mindset you must adopt. Consistency compounds. Momentum multiplies. Results are inevitable. Consistency also overcomes obstacles. When challenges arise, consistent effort keeps progress moving. You don't rely on bursts of energy or sudden motivation. You rely on your disciplined habits. You show up anyway. You act anyway. You push forward. That's how high achievers transform adversity into progress. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats excuses. Consistency wins. Say it again. Embed it. Live it. Here's a framework to implement radical consistency today. Identify the key daily actions that directly impact your goals. Focus on behaviors, not outcomes. Commit to executing them every single day without fail. Small, meaningful actions matter more than sporadic effort. Track progress and adjust as needed. Reinforce habits. Celebrate small wins. Compound results. Momentum grows. Consistency wins. High achievers also embrace patience. They understand that results are rarely immediate. Consistent effort produces exponential growth over time. Talent can open doors, but only consistency keeps them open. Only consistency sustains progress. Motivation comes and goes, but daily action compounds like interest in a bank account. That's why consistency is the ultimate competitive advantage. Let's reinforce this principle one more time. Talent fades. Motivation fluctuates. Inspiration is temporary. Only consistency produces results. Daily, deliberate action compounds over time, creating mastery, skill, and momentum. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats excuses. Consistency wins. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. You have to internalize this mindset until it becomes automatic. Every day ask, what consistent action will I take today that my future self will thank me for? Train yourself to show up, execute, and persist no matter the circumstances. Discipline your habits. Reinforce your routines. Protect your momentum. Consistency wins. In summary, here's what you must take away from this chapter. Commit to radical consistency. Daily effort compounds into mastery, momentum, and results. Focus on small but meaningful actions, repeated relentlessly over time. Build habits, trust, and reliability through consistency. Momentum is your ultimate weapon. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats excuses. Consistency wins. You've learned the power of showing up daily. You've learned how incremental, repeated effort compounds into massive success. You've begun the process of thinking like a high achiever, relying on disciplined action rather than bursts of talent or fleeting motivation. You mastered consistency. Now, let's talk about focusing your energy on what truly matters and cutting out distractions. Chapter 9. Rewire your environment. Your environment shapes you. Choose it. Control it. Master it. Say it out loud. Repeat it. Embed it. High achievers know that who and what surrounds them directly influences their success. Your environment determines your habits, your mindset, and your trajectory. It either lifts you up or drags you down. That's the key. You have a choice. You can accept a passive environment filled with distractions, negativity, and mediocrity, or you can actively construct a space that fuels growth, discipline, and focus. That's the difference between average results and extraordinary outcomes. Your environment shapes you. Choose it. Control it. Master it. Repeat it. Live it. Let's break this down. Most people underestimate the power of their surroundings. They blame circumstances, excuses, or luck for their stagnation. High achievers do the opposite. They curate their environment intentionally. They surround themselves with thinkers, doers, and standards that elevate their performance. They eliminate influences that weaken their focus or dilute their discipline. That's how excellence becomes inevitable. Consider Bill Gates. In his early years, Gates immersed himself in programming environments. He sought mentors who challenged him. He surrounded himself with peers who were equally driven. He didn't just wait for opportunity. He created an environment that accelerated learning and mastery. That's how he became one of the greatest innovators of his time. Your environment shapes you. Choose it. Control it. Master it. Repeat it. Your environment is more than people. It's also your physical and digital spaces. Your desk, your tools, your routines, even the media you consume, all shape your thoughts, energy, and habits. High achievers design their environment to support focus, creativity, and momentum. They remove clutter, distractions, and triggers for procrastination. They create spaces that enforce discipline and encourage action. That's the hidden advantage most people ignore. Here's the truth. Habits are easier to maintain in a supportive environment. Motivation is amplified. Productivity multiplies. High achievers know this. They don't rely on willpower alone. They leverage their environment as an external coach, a constant reminder of their standards, and a multiplier for their discipline. Your environment shapes you. Choose it, control it, master it, repeat it, say it, repeat it, live it. Let's make this practical. Start by auditing your current environment. Identify influences that drain energy, encourage mediocrity, or distract from your goals. Then, remove them. Replace them with influences that elevate your thinking, support action, and reinforce high standards. Surround yourself with people, tools, and systems that demand excellence. That's how high achievers stay ahead. Consider another example: elite athletes. They surround themselves with coaches, training partners, and resources that push them beyond their limits. They remove distractions, toxic influences, and habits that compromise performance. Every element of their environment is designed to maximize growth and results. Your environment is your silent partner. It shapes your habits, decisions, and outcomes. Master it. Now, repetition is critical here. High achievers repeatedly reinforce their environment to maintain standards. Every day, they ask, does this environment serve my growth? Does it challenge me? Does it push me forward? If the answer is no, they adjust. They rewire. They evolve. You must do the same. Your environment shapes you. Choose it. Control it. Master it. Repeat it. Embed it into your daily life. Here's a practical framework for rewiring your environment. Identify the people, spaces, and influences that hold you back. Remove them systematically. Surround yourself with mentors, peers, and tools that elevate your skills and mindset. Curate challenges that force growth. Continuously audit and adjust. Your environment must evolve as you evolve. Excellence is intentional, not accidental. High achievers also understand the subtle effects of daily exposure. Media, conversations, and surroundings constantly shape beliefs and energy. Avoid negative influences. Avoid gossip, fear-based thinking, and distractions that drain momentum. Instead, fill your environment with learning, innovation, and action-oriented influences. Your environment is the foundation for your discipline, your habits, and your mindset. Master it. Let's reinforce this principle one more time. Your environment shapes your thoughts, habits, and performance. Ignoring it guarantees mediocrity. High achievers cure environments that reinforce discipline, focus, and high standards. Your environment is your silent partner. Choose it, control it, master it, repeat it. In summary, here's what you must take away from this chapter. Actively shape your physical, digital, and social environment to reinforce excellence. Remove distractions and influences that lower standards. Surround yourself with energy, focus, and challenge. Constantly audit and optimize. Your environment compounds your discipline and performance. Your environment shapes you. Choose it, control it, master it. You've learned the power of environment in shaping your habits, mindset, and success. You've learned to remove obstacles and distractions that undermine focus. You've begun the process of curating a space, relationships, and routines that elevate your performance to high achiever levels. You mastered your environment. Now, let's talk about the final piece, connecting all your growth into unstoppable purpose. Chapter 10. Act decisively every day. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. Say it out loud. Repeat it. Embed it into your mind. High achievers understand one unshakable truth. Decision-making underpins all achievement. Delay is the enemy. Hesitation is the silent killer of momentum. Every second spent overthinking, doubting, or waiting is a second wasted, an opportunity lost. That's the key. You have a choice. You can hesitate, overanalyze, and hope for clarity that may never come. Or you can act decisively, gather feedback along the way, and adjust as needed. High achievers choose action. They understand that imperfect decisions executed consistently outperform perfect decisions delayed. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. Repeat it. Live it. Let's break this down. Most people fear making the wrong decision. They worry about judgment, consequences, or failure. High achievers act anyway. They gather enough information, weigh options quickly, and commit. They iterate. They refine. They learn from execution, not speculation. Oprah Winfrey, for example, made bold career moves with limited certainty. Jeff Bezos launched Amazon without a perfect roadmap. Both acted decisively, learned, and adapted. That's how extraordinary results are created. Decision-making creates momentum. Every choice you make is a vote for the life you want. Hesitation creates stagnation. Doubt creates inaction. Action produces clarity. Action creates progress. Action teaches lessons faster than any book, course, or plan. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. Say it again. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. Here's the truth. Speed of execution is often more important than perfect accuracy. High achievers know that learning happens through action, not endless deliberation. Waiting for the perfect moment guarantees delay. Acting decisively creates opportunity. Momentum compounds. Progress accelerates. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. Let's make this practical. When faced with a decision, follow this simple framework. Gather essential information quickly. Identify what you need, no more, no less. Decide. Commit. Stop second-guessing. Confidence comes from action. Act immediately. Implement the decision. Monitor results. Adjust if needed. High achievers follow this framework relentlessly. They don't let fear or doubt paralyze them. They understand that action produces clarity faster than contemplation. Each decision builds momentum, skill, and confidence. Each delay compounds risk and frustration. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. Consider the compounding effect of consistent decisiveness. Over time, those who act decisively accumulate results, knowledge, and influence. Those who hesitate accumulate regrets, missed opportunities, and self-doubt. High achievers understand this. They don't wait. They act. They iterate. They grow exponentially. That's the power of decisiveness. Now, repetition is crucial. Every decision, no matter how small, reinforces your ability to act. Every choice is practice for bigger, higher-stakes decisions. Build the habit of acting decisively every day. Let momentum compound. Let courage become instinct. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. Say it again. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. Here's a practical example. Consider Jeff Bezos deciding to start Amazon. He didn't wait for the perfect business plan, flawless technology, or guaranteed market. He acted on the information he had. He iterated as he grew. The result? One of the most transformative companies in history. That's the mindset you must adopt. Action trumps hesitation. Execution beats speculation. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. In summary, here's what you must take away from this chapter. Decision-making is the backbone of achievement. Hesitation is the enemy. High achievers act decisively, learn quickly, and adjust along the way. Every choice compounds over time. Decisive action produces momentum, clarity, and results. Decide fast. Move faster. Never look back. You've learned to recognize the cost of delay, to act decisively in uncertainty, and to leverage each decision as fuel for momentum. You've begun the process of thinking and acting like a high achiever, making daily choices that compound into extraordinary results. You master decisive action. You now have the tools, mindset, and habits to think like high achievers, act with purpose, and create unstoppable momentum. Before we finish, remember, your journey doesn't stop here. Apply these lessons daily. Embed them into your routines. Transform them into habits. And if you want more content like this, step-by-step guidance to master your mindset and life, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. Stay consistent, stay focused, and rise higher every day.